Bonjour. Welcome to another video. And before I get into this video, I didn't mention this, but I caught COVID and I got sick. So I had to take some medication and be quarantined for 5 days. Then after the 5 days are up, I can go out of my house, but I had to wear a mask. I had to stay quarantined for 5 days in my home. Yeah, I caught COVID, and I felt the symptoms. And when I was in New York, I had a sore throat. And when I caught the flight from JFK in New York after doing a 2-hour layover, and flew back from flew down to DFW in Dallas, and went home. The symptoms got even worse. I had chills. I had diarrhea. Had a runny nose. Had chest congestion. And I went and I told my sister how I was feeling. And she did the COVID test on me, and I tested positive for COVID-19. And before that, when I went out, I was thinking that I'll probably have COVID, so I'm gonna wear a mask so I won't get anybody sick. So I went out and so I went out with a mask on, so I won't get anybody sick. So right now I'm better right now, and the good thing about it is I got the COVID-19 booster shot before all of this, so the symptoms were kind of mild. So yeah, enough of that. I don't know. I probably caught COVID, on that Italian flight because I went in this filthy, disgusting bathroom on that Italian airplane, that Italian flight or aeroplane. Um, the bathroom or the washroom it was just disgusting. It like poo, like crap. It smelled really bad. Someone just destroyed the bathroom. And someone on the flight told me, hey, that bathroom's disgusting. You don't want to go. Yeah, I just want to tell you that bathroom is filthy. Yeah, I had to go and I end up going in that filthy bathroom on the flight, on that Italian flight. Oh my God. So yeah, enough of that. In this video is kind of a Winston Wu Happier Abroad related style video, and before I get in this video, I want to dedicate this video to the founder of Happier Abroad, Winston Wu. I also want to dedicate this video to Doc Garcia of the YouTube channel DocGO7. This guy fell off. He lost his mind, and I want to dedicate this video to him along with Winston Wu. I also want to dedicate this video to my old long lost friend I haven't seen on YouTube. His name is Brandon Middleton. He calls himself Captain Brandon Holy Lover. Captain Brandon Holy Lover. I think that's his YouTube handle name, but I'm going to say Brandon Middleton. So I'm going to dedicate this video also to my good friend on YouTube, haven't seen in a while, Brandon Middleton. Okay, enough of that. Let me get into this. Okay, the title of this video is American Bullshit. The Dirt of America. Yeah, you guys know where this is going. Alright, there's some things that I wrote down on paper. It's 1 through 7. So 1 through 8. Things I've written down, 1 through 8 about America. And let me get started. I'm doing a voice recording on my LG smartphone. Also made videos of the cruise ship, or not the cruise ship, but the cruise that I went on, the trip I went on overseas, also with this LG smartphone that I'm doing this voice recording on. Okay, American bullshit, the dirt of America, 1 through 8. Number 1, America is such a free country. It is the only country that is free, and those other countries aren't free. Yeah, I hear this all the time. You live in America. You live in such a free country. You live in a country with so much freedom. You have full freedom. But the reality is the United States isn't a free country. The United States doesn't have a lot of freedom. It has less freedom. Okay, how can the US be a free country if, people work all the time? People work all the time. They pay a lot of bills. They pay a lot of taxes. They follow the rules. You know, because here in the U.S. it's all you do here in the U.S. is work, consume, follow the rules. Um, you can't talk to anybody unless it's business related. Everybody's antisocial and cliquish. Everybody's in their own bubbles. You know, that's the U.S. in a nutshell. And other countries aren't like that. Well, also, you got a country that's similar to the U.S., Japan. Japan is a workaholic nation, just like the U.S. So, yeah. So how can you be free if you live in a country with the highest prison population in the world, a healthcare system that's not free, public, and universal, and not guaranteed to everybody? You go bankrupt over medical bills. You know, you don't have no social freedoms. You don't have the freedom to be yourself. You know, yeah, I mean, does it seem like a free country to me? Yeah, like, got a lot of mass shootings that happen, a lot of mass shootings. Like, people don't have the freedom to go out and shop and, go to a party, go to the park, do get togethers without being a victim of random gun violence. So, don't want to get political. It's just, it's it's like a mindless thing that these patriotic Americans, like to beat their chests and go and shout it on a higher mountain, saying that you're free. We live in a country with so much freedom, and those other countries have no freedom. And they go and put down other countries and say that, oh, those other countries don't have any freedom, and China, if you speak against the government, you'll be arrested, and like stupid stuff like that. Like, yeah, China may be a tyrannical dictatorship, but in that country you have social freedoms. You have the freedom to be yourself. And I don't care for politics. I'm trying to, I just got away from that because it's just depressing. It makes you feel bad. And conspiracy theorist stuff make you feel bad as well. I got some people who are conspiracy theorists who watch the videos on this channel. And I don't care about conspiracy theories. All I care about, is this social freedoms. Talking to people. I don't want to talk to weirdos. I want to talk to normal people. And I don't want to have anything to do with loners. So yeah, and I feel sorry for loners. I think they just want to be alone, don't want to talk to anybody. So anyway, the U.S. is not a free country. It doesn't have a lot of freedom. It has less freedom. Believe it or not, countries like Mexico, Latin American countries, the Philippines, um, other you know poor countries, some wealthy countries outside the U.S. and Canada, you have more freedom on social freedoms and the freedom to be yourself than here in the U.S. and Canada. Okay, number two, church. Church is the only place where you can find friendly people in America. Going to church is awkward because the people there are narrow minded and religious fanatics. People at church think the Bible is God Himself, and they also think the Bible is perfect and equivalent to God. Churches in America are like cults. Yeah, these religious people here in the U.S., they are they are narrow-minded, and some of them are religious fanatics, and they think the Bible is bigger than God, and it's just ridiculous, and yeah, you know, and there's not good people in churches at all, Yeah, they're friendly, but you got some people who are religious who will put you down and criticize you, and they'll say, God bless you if they put you down and say that, oh, your videos and how you talk won't do you any justice. Keep trying, though. God bless you. And that's just a turn to say fuck you. And I think, I think, yeah, yeah, in America, going to church, church is the only place where you can find friendly people who are sociable. But also in churches, you got cliques, you know, with the pastor and some of the members there. You got cliques, and I went to a church, I didn't talk to anybody. Nobody didn't come up and introduce themselves. They just saw me and say that, oh, you just another person who's coming to this church. Welcome here. And that's it. Like, nobody walks up to you and like introduce themselves to you and asking what's your name or what you like to do. It's basically, they talk about like stuff like football, sports, and all kinds of crap, and that's about it. And I went to this church, and some guy had this obsession of me looking like my dad, and I walk like my dad, and he didn't care about meeting me or what kind of person I am or what do I like to do or nothing. All he cared about is I walk like my dad and I look like my dad, which is kind of weird, and yeah, going to church is awkward because the people there are narrow minded and they're a bunch of religious fanatics and weirdos. So, yeah, it has some religious person, like, has some religious people like commenting on the videos on my channel, and they say the term "God bless you" just to say fuck you to me. Yeah. So them thinking that the Bible is perfect and is equivalent to God is just ridiculous. You know, yeah, and churches are cults, and they are. And someone on my someone comment on one of the videos on my channel telling me that um church is like going to church in religion is like mind control. Yeah, yeah, the people in churches they're not free thinkers. They're not open minded. They're narrow minded people, and they are. And like here in Texas, like older people have this obsession of dying and going to heaven and being with Jesus and God, and a lot of young people are like this, and I live in Texas. It's a super religious state, and it is. So yeah, churches are like cults, and that's true. Okay, number three. America is antisocial, very sexless, dateless, loveless, and women are not approachable at all. Yeah, the women in America, in the United States, are not approachable. You know, you go and try to talk to them, get to know them, compliment on how they look. They'll give you dirty looks and they'll tell you to get the hell away from them, and they'll say that you're a creep and a weirdo and a pedophile and a freak. And, I'm not a fan of manly women or tomboyish women. Yeah, I'm not into that. I'm not into those type of women, and I'm not into trashy goth girls either. Like, and you got some men, nerdy video game nerds, who commented on my channel and bashed me about what I said about Texas, telling me about manly women are called the tomboy. Yeah, if you like tomboys, yeah, well, that's you. So I find his attack on me to be just basically just went over like a fart in church. Yeah, America is antisocial. Nobody talks to each other. Everybody just keeps to themselves. And if you're in a neighborhood, everybody just never come outside. It's like this. Okay, you think of a neighborhood, you see children playing, you see adults walking around, walking together, a man and a woman, a guy walking a dog, people sitting out on the front porches of their homes, drinking lemonade and talking to each other, and they see you, and people come up and talk to you and want to know who you are and why you want to move here and welcome you to the neighborhood and invite you over to a barbecue or invite you to dinner. You don't see that in the U.S. Everybody just closed off. Like there's nobody in the neighborhood. Everybody's in their homes all the time. If it's a sunny day, the sun is out, the sky is blue, you won't see one soul. And it's weird and it's crazy. Okay, let me go on to this. Miss this. Women have this cold wall where they think you're a creep if you talk to them. True. You can't do anything here in America. No, you can't do anything here. You can't do a thing here. Yeah, like I said, you can't talk to anybody. You can't go out and meet people. You can't get a date if you're a single person, because in the United States, everything is geared towards families and couples. If you're a single person, you're screwed. You can't go out and get dates, love, sex, and romance. True. Yeah, you can't do that. Can't do any of that. Okay. Number four. Number four. The only thing the only things you can do in the United States is consume, shop, satisfy your craving for food. Yeah, that's all you can do. Okay, number five. The American news media hijacked the word antisocial. Yeah, they have hijacked the word antisocial. Psychologists, psychiatrists, mental health professions, and a shrink. They hijacked the word antisocial to make it out as violent. They say that if you're antisocial, you're violent. No, that's wrong. You're antisocial because you don't want to talk to anybody. You want to shut yourself off from the world. You want to isolate yourself from nobody, from people. You don't want to socialize with other people. Yeah, you want to be a loner. You don't want to talk to anybody. You want to keep to yourself. And that's the mindset here in the United States among Americans. But you go to like the small towns, like different parts of America. People are sociable and friendly. Like this guy who's from Minnesota who lives behind my house. He runs a business. He invited he invited um me and my sister. I think he invited my parents and me and my sister to you know to his home for dinner. And my parents and my sister didn't want to do that. Why? Because I don't know. I don't think because he's white. They're just antisocial. I mean, they probably is racist. I don't know. I don't say that. Well, actually, they're antisocial. You know, my dad's a loner. You know, it's like this. Like they believe in socializing with people not people you don't know. So yeah. Um, Number six, Americans don't think for themselves, and they don't. For example, here in Texas, everybody thinks the same. Everybody will say, "I love Texas. Texas is the greatest state in the whole wide world, better than those 49 other states." And I can't imagine leaving Texas and moving somewhere else and living somewhere else. I love Texas. Then if you say something bad about Texas and bash it and criticize it, the Texas people who are very patriotic, who love the state of Texas, they will go and they'll just attack you online and just say a lot of insults and a lot of crazy weird stuff that don't make any sense. Basically, they'll yell at you and they'll say a lot of weird, crazy stuff, and they'll just put you down and demonize you and rip you apart and trash you. So those type of Americans don't think for themselves. They have a sheltered mindset. And where they live, they never been to places that I have been. I've been to like I've been to like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. I've been to 10 countries. I don't know. I lost track. I've been to Mexico, Canada, the United Kingdom, Belgium, Norway, Germany, France, Italy, Greece, Cyprus, Turkey. I've been, I, yeah. I added some countries to my repertoire of places that I went to. I went outside the U.S. I traveled to other places outside the U.S. And some Americans, you know, never been anywhere, because they work all the time, and some don't want to go overseas because they want to stay here. They think that this is the only place that's better. It's the world. America is the world. The United States is the world. Texas is the world, and that's what they think. You know, and I feel sorry for those people. And you got people who want to travel, who want to go overseas. They just work all the time. Work, 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 work because of their job. Because they work so much, and they never take any vacation. They never spend time with family and friends. They just work too much. Okay, number seven. You can't go out and meet people. Can't get a date, obtain sex, love, romance. human connection, or companionship. America is sexless, dateless, and loveless. American culture expects you to be already married and settled down. It expects you to marry your high school sweetheart or college sweetheart and settle down. And for the rest of your life, you're a workaholic and raising a family, and you don't talk to strangers anymore. The United States is not a social place, not like Latin America, Mexico, Southeast Asia, Europe, or Eastern Europe. America is not a sociable country. You are supposed to keep to yourself. Be married. There is nothing for you to do here if you're single. Yep, that's true. That is true. Okay. Number 8. Americans on YouTube, X, Facebook, or any social media site will bring out the worst in you by tearing you down with mean-spirited negative comments. Yeah, I got that on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know about. Yeah, I got a Facebook page. I never go into it. Yeah, you can't talk to anybody on Facebook at all. All you can do is just go and look around. Facebook is not real social human connection. YouTube is not social human connection. And X, formerly known as Twitter, is not social human connection. So yeah, I think that's it. Everything I just read 1 through 8 is the truth. American stuff is American bullshit, and it is. And I don't care about people getting butthurt and angry and upset over me making videos about their home or where they're from. If they don't like it, that's their problem. And I got some trolls who are subbing to this channel just to bring me down. I don't care about those trolls. You know, if you're a troll and you sub into this channel, I'm gonna tell you something. You're just making a complete and utter fool out of yourself. You can type down weird comments. You can call me the N word. You can tear me down with these negative comments. I don't give a damn. You know, if you don't like the videos that I posted about where you're from, that's your problem, not mine. You can go ahead and post your shitty comments because I don't care. All right. I'm going to focus on making videos the way I want to make it. I'm going to make any video that I want on this channel. If you don't like it, I don't care. So yeah, also before I end this video, I want to give a shout out to Winston Wu, the founder of Happier Abroad, a decimated and in the dirt Doc G of the YouTube channel Doc G07, formerly Damn This Place '07, and my good friend Brandon Middleton, aka Captain Brandon Holy Lover. And I want to give a shout out to a woman who Brandon told her to sub to me, and I like to say thank you to her. So anyway, yeah, 1 through 8, 1 through 8, America is not a social place. It's antisocial. It's very sexless, dateless, loveless, and the women are not approachable at all. You can't do anything in the country. People in churches all over America are narrow-minded people, and religious fanatics and churches are like cults. America is a country with less freedom, not full freedom. The news media and psychologists, shrinks, mental health professions hijack the word antisocial to tell you that antisocial means being violent. Americans don't think for themselves. Yeah, you can't go out and meet people. I mean, there's no love, no human connection, no companionship. And the American culture expects you to be married, to be already married and settled down, have a wife, have a spouse, have children, and be a workaholic and raising a family, and you cannot and you shouldn't be talking to strangers anymore. You should keep to yourself. And people tell you, you keep to yourself, I'm going to keep to myself. I'm going to mind my own business, and you're going to mind your own business. Yeah, it's not a sociable place. If you're single, alone, and you have thoughts of suicide, and you've been torn down by toxic people in the U.S., and you want to turn into a mass shooter and go around and shoot people, shoot and kill people, turn the gun on yourself, shoot and kill yourself, or worse, being shot and killed by police and being demonized in the news as evil. And these mass shooters who do these mass shootings, they're not all mentally ill. Some are mentally ill, and you got some who run on anger and resentment. Anger and resentment because of a society that tore them down. They were brought up in a bad household with bad parents and terrible siblings, and they went to school, they were bullied and picked on, and that makes them reach a boiling point to go on a mass shooting spree. So yeah, I'm gonna give you some advice. If you a person who's suffering in America, a single man or a single woman who's full of anger and resentment, who've been torn down by this very shitty red, white, and blue star-spangled country, I'm going to tell you this. Go overseas, move overseas, live in another country, move to a country overseas that is less toxic, that will make you feel good about yourself. Yeah, a country where people are sociable. Yeah, go to places like Latin America, Mexico, Southeast Asia, Europe, or Eastern Europe. Colombia, others. You know, where you can meet people, go on dates, obtain sex, love, romance, human connection, and companionship. Yeah, that would be great for you. Yeah, you have to be around people in churches who are narrow-minded religious fanatics and weirdos. Yeah, if you're a single man, you have to worry about being around women who will put up a cold wall, and where women think, and you won't be around women who will never think of you as a creep if you want to talk to them. And you can do a lot of things that you can't do in America. Yeah, you can go out and get dates, love, sex, and romance. And you have social freedoms, and you have the freedom to be yourself. Yeah. And you can talk to strangers. You can talk to anybody you want. Yeah, you can't. Some people you can talk to. Yeah, you can't talk to everybody. You can talk to some people, not everybody. But you can talk to someone. Like, if you can't talk to one person, you can go to the next person. And you have to see a therapist. And you have to be doped up on pills from some lunatic, fat ass male psychiatrist. And you have to talk to some smelly psychologist. You have to talk to like smelly shrinks and psychologists. And you have to worry about someone telling you, oh, there's something wrong with you. You need help. Go see a therapist. And you have to worry about someone telling you to blame yourself for your problems. None of that shit. You're free. Yeah. Some American patriot said that you live in a country with full freedom. Well, if you live in a country outside of America, that's that has all those things that I said before, you're gonna have a lot of full freedom. Because America is a shitty country. The culture is complete garbage. And everything in American culture has basically went over like a fart in church. Well, that's all I gotta say in this video. Thank you for watching. Merci, merci beaucoup. Au revoir. Cheers. Thank you. Oh, I gotta say one more thing. I'm sorry about that, folks. Sorry about the video being long. Uh, I didn't want to make a long video, but this just popped in my head. I'm going back to freedom in America. Not freedom, but you know, okay, yeah, freedom. Okay, they say you have so much freedom in America. You live in a country with so much freedom. But, if you go and criticize, okay, they're perfectly fine with you criticizing the government, which is pointless and useless. But if you criticize the culture here in the United States, if you criticize American culture, you'll be demonized. I mean, they'll view it as taboo and not right. And okay, they talk about freedom of speech. And, so basically, you can say wherever you want, but there's a catch to it. Like, freedom of speech, you can't say wherever you want. If you can't you can't you can't call a gay person a slur. You can't call a transgender person. You can't put down a transgender person. Um, you can't be politically incorrect with a politically incorrect statement or speech. You be vilified. You be demonized. You be put down. You be persecuted. So, out of all of that, how can you be in a country? How can they say that you live in a country with so much freedom, the United States? Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. And also you work. You're a workaholic. You work too much. You don't get any time off. You pay bills and all that stuff. You pay bills. You follow the rules. You follow the rules, laws, and regulations. You have to be at work on time because your boss wants you to be at work a certain time. And if you don't come to work on time, you'll be fired. Yeah, like, more like you have the freedom to be a workaholic and work to death, and there's a saying, and this is true, in the United States, people live to work, and in Europe, and other places, you know, I won't say like the civilized, um, wealthy, put together countries. In those countries, people work to live. And, I saw this. I don't watch porn. Um, watch a little bit of it. There's this porn video online. Showing a young woman from some country in Europe. I think Poland. And some guy asked her, "Do you like your job? Do you like doing what you like to do?" And she said, "Well, not really, because what I'm doing is just basically a job, because that's what I'm doing. It's just what I'm doing is just a job. It's just a job, and that's true. You know, they don't. People in foreign countries like countries in Europe, they don't say that I love my job. I love my job. They'll just say, well, it's just a job. I'm not. I don't feel great doing this job because it's just a job, and that's all it is. And I kind of respect that. And I wish a lot of people here in the U.S. would think that way, but nobody thinks that way because, well, yeah, you got people say I love my job. You got people who hate their jobs, who are bitter and angry because they get paid less and they work too much. Yeah, American freedom. You live in a country with so much freedom. No, you live in a country with less freedom. Well, yeah, well, and that's all I gotta say. Before I end this video for good. You know, I want to send my condolences out to the people in Israel who are suffering. Families and children and innocent people are being killed by Hamas. And I heard about a hospital in Israel that was bombed by Hamas, killing like innocent people and children. It's just disgusting. It's just terrible. You know, and I was supposed to go to Israel and I couldn't go because well, my parents and my sister and myself, we couldn't go to Israel because of the war between Israel and Hamas. And when I was overseas, I was in that cruise ship out in the Mediterranean Sea. I heard about that hospital in Israel being bombed and blown up by Hamas. It's just terrible over there. It's just a mess over there. Russia is attacking Ukraine, and Hamas is attacking Israel. Israel and Hamas are fighting in a war. Russia and Ukraine are fighting in a war. And speaking of Ukraine, I hope Ukraine gets out of this war with Russia and go and join the European Union. I hope that Ukraine goes and joins the European Union after that war with Russia. I hope they join the European Union, and I hope the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, make this happen. Yeah, and Vladimir Putin wants to take over Ukraine. He wants Ukraine to join Russia and become the Soviet Union again, and Russia becomes the Soviet Union again, and Vladimir Putin wants um Russia to absorb the Ukraine and other former Soviet Union states and and become the Soviet Union again. And I think Vladimir Putin is a nutcase, and he is. He's a lunatic. And no, that's just my opinion. So anyway, that's all I gotta add in this. All right, goodbye.